God said to Abraham in Genesis 17, verse 11, that being circumcised in the flesh of the foreskin was a sign of the covenant between me and you. A sign is representative of something else. It is not a thing all by itself, as many Jews seem to perceive it. See, I'm circumcised, and this is the sign of the covenant between God and me. I am right because of the cut in my flesh. That is incorrect. A sign anticipates, pictures, and reveals something else. This is why Moses speaks twice in Deuteronomy of circumcision of the heart, in Deuteronomy 10:16 and Deuteronomy 30, verse 6. Why Jeremiah repeats that many hundreds of years later in Jeremiah 4, verse 4. And then Paul explains what a true Jew is with these words. He says in Romans 2, "For he is not a Jew who is one outwardly, nor is circumcision that which is outward and in the flesh. But he is a Jew who is one inwardly. And circumcision is that of the heart in the spirit, not in the letter, whose praise is not from men, but from God." The physical aspect of circumcision looks to an inner aspect. If the latter is missing, the former is void of any value. Indeed, circumcision is not limited to the Jewish people. Rather, it has been practiced and it continues to be practiced by Gentile cultures around the world. And their circumcision is as meritless as the circumcision which is found in Jews whose hearts are not circumcised along with their flesh. If circumcision is a sign of something else, then what is it a sign of? It is that which many other signs from the Old Testament anticipate: Jesus Christ. Adam, a true and actual human, was created without sin, but fell through disobedience. In his fall, sin entered into the world, and as Paul explains in Romans 5, therefore, just as through one man sin entered the world, and death through sin, and thus death spread to all men because all sinned. For until the law, sin was in the world, but sin is not imputed where there is no law. Nevertheless, death reigned from Adam to Moses, even over those who had not sinned according to the likeness of the transgression of Adam, who is a type of him who was to come. In other words, all bear Adam's image, meaning his sin nature. Adam sinned, and in Adam all sinned. Because of sin, man is unrighteous. But God declared Abraham righteous by a simple act of faith. That is seen in Genesis 15, prior to the giving of the sign of the covenant. Genesis 15, 5 and 6. "Look now toward heaven and count the stars if you are able to number them. And he said to them, so shall your descendants be. And he believed in the Lord, and he counted it to him for righteousness." The righteousness of Abraham led to the covenant with Abraham, and the covenant of Abraham was given a sign: circumcision. That sign anticipated the coming of Christ. Abraham understood this because he had already been told as much way back in Genesis chapter 12. Now the Lord had said to Abram, "Get out of your country, from your family, and from your father's house, to a land that I will show you. I will make you a great nation. I will bless you and make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse him who curses you. And in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed." The promise of Messiah had already been made. The continued understanding of his coming is implied in the words to Abraham, and thus Messiah would come through him. As Abraham was not the father of all of the families of the earth, then it follows that the words spoken to him were in relation to Messiah who would descend from him. This is something that would be again confirmed to him. Later, as we saw, Abraham was declared righteous by faith in God's words. That was Genesis 15:6, which I just cited to you. And today, how is one declared righteous? It is through faith in Christ. But that is getting ahead of ourselves. We have to remember that it is the humanity of Christ which makes this obtainable. As Christ was not created directly and immediately, then he descended from Adam and his subsequent generations, as the Bible clearly lays out.